What's up, Metalheads? Metal Benji here. It's going to be a little bit different this evening. I've got a little something to show you, and yeah, I'm quite excited by this, to be honest. I really am looking forward to this. As you may or may not know, if you followed me for a little while, you will be aware that I have spent the last year or so using an OBSBOT Tiny 2 PTZ camera to keep me in focus, to track me around when I'm streaming, to we've created some crazy little effects with it, like you can see the dogs behind me on the sofa and things like that with channel point redeems. Well, the guys at OBSBOT were very kind and have sent me a little product to try out, and it's this guy. So this is an OBSBOT Tiny 2 4K Lite. We're gonna do a bit of a deep dive. We'll have a bit of an unboxing. We'll check out what's inside here and get it all set up, get it working, go through some of the key features, and hopefully we'll be able to see an improvement on the Tiny 2. It's going to be pretty tough to beat, but I think they've done it with this. Anyway, let's dive in and have a look. See you all in there. So I just thought we'd get in and unbox this. These things are so neatly packaged, it's unreal. It's really, really tidy. Everything slots in the box really, really nicely. You've got a couple of, I don't know if you can see them there, you've got a couple of QR codes for downloading software and watching help videos, and a couple of basic instructions that it gives you, because this thing's gesture controlled. So it just gives you some like do's and don'ts when it comes to gestures. This first little package, let's just take this one out. This little cardboard sleeve here. Look how tiny that is. Look at this. Yeah, they really do care. It's well shielded, it's well guarded. You'll notice as well the packaging was amazing. Didn't come with any bumps, bruises, perfectly boxed and really well done. So thanks for that, OBSBOT. In this little cardboard sleeve on the very top that says "Stay Pro, Stay Productive," you get a user manual that comes in lots of different languages. Okay. English is the first sort of 11 pages or so, 10 pages or so. Gives you the real basics on how to use the camera, how to set it up. Most of it is pretty self-explanatory, and again, it repeats those QR codes and things if you do need them. Once you've read those 10 pages, you know how this camera works. It's that simple. It really is that simple. There's also a warranty card in there as well. About the warranty, so make sure you read that if you do decide to take the plunge and get one of these bad boys. So before we get the camera out, I just thought I'd show you this. Okay, so in here you just get a nice little bag. Okay, we'll get into that as well. So you get a USB-A to USB-C converter, and you get a nice long, I think it's 1.8 meter USB-C to USB-C cable. Don't worry if you haven't got a USB-C connector in your PC, that's what this is for. You plug that on the end, gives you USB-A into a normal USB 3 port, and you've got then your USB-C end to go into the back of the camera. Let's get the camera out a sec. Being gentle. So, these guys are PTZ cameras. So that's pitch, tilt, and zoom. Okay? Now, you can see it's on a gimbal. So the camera can move independently of its base. Okay, and that's how it basically keeps you in frame at all times using its AI features. On the base, you've got these pinholes of the microphone, so it's a dual microphone setup on this one. It's also got a couple of different mount options. You can mount it to a standard microphone or camera stand, or you've got a monitor clip. You can just sit it on top of your monitor. You can see there it's got like the little hook to sit on the front of your monitor and everything. So yeah, these are really, really sweet. It's very, very light. There's hardly any weight to it. The action on the tilt and the sort of swivel and everything on it is super, super smooth. There's brushless motors in this one, or a brushless motor, should I say. So it all moves really super smooth. And yeah, it's tiny. I mean, look at that. If I compare it next to like my mouse, it's dinky. Hello. Hi. Yeah, these things are super, super cute. If you're, like I said previously, if you're familiar with my stream, you know that I use this camera a lot. It's normally pointed at my ugly mug or the dogs on the sofa behind me, because you can save multiple preset positions, and using something like a Stream Deck or a hotkey, you can have it move over to one of those positions. But yeah, all in all, OBSBOT, you do a great job at packaging your product. Really impressed with it all. It's all really super neat. I mean, just like the addition of the USB-C cable with the adapter, really smart idea. And yeah, thanks for sending it over. I'll get it set up and plugged in, and we'll have a look at image quality and things. Here we go. Takes a little while to find your camera and to get itself all plugged in and connected and ready to go, but here you go. So this is the OBSBOT Center. This is where you control your camera from. You can do lots of various things, you know, with this software. I'm going to talk you through some of the basics, you know, and how I use it. Obviously, you guys can look further into it, and you guys can find out a lot more about the product. Okay, if you want to have a look at the video quality, we'll just turn on the video feed here. I mean, that for a start is amazing. That's me. That's my living room. Excuse the mess. You know, nobody's perfect, right? Oh, sorry, you're over there. I keep forgetting, more than one camera. I mean, this is the default view. Here I am. It's probably positioned a little bit high. I haven't turned any tracking or anything on yet. But what I'm going to do, at the moment, it's 1080p, 30 frames a second. Yeah, it tells you down here. Just drop down that menu. We'll go 4K, 30 frames a second. So that's now 4K video, 30 frames a second. Looks super clear. I can't fault that at all. It's very low light here as well. I've just got a couple of Elgato key lights up here, and that is a really nice picture. You know, it shows off all the grey in my beard. That's great. I'm really happy with that. You know, you can see some detail in the fish tank behind me and things like that. But yeah, all in all, that straight out of the box is a fantastic picture. I'm not going to complain about that whatsoever. Everything is super sharp. I'm well happy. Over here, though, what you've got various different, on the console tab, you've got various different tracking modes. So at the moment, there's no tracking enabled. If I click normal tracking, I get a little blue light on the camera. You saw it move. It's put me in the center of the frame. And now if I move around, it's going to try and do its best to keep me in the middle of the frame. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. That is so cool. There are other options. So you could ask it to do just the upper body, and it will move down slightly, put your head, you know, I find it very, like, I'm right in the middle of the camera, which is great. That's great. When I'm streaming and things like that, that's what you want, right? You want it to keep you in view. Everybody wants to see you, the streamer. It's perfect, right? The upper body generally will move you slightly higher and give you a bit more of your sort of chest and shoulders in view as well. This section is where you can set presets, okay? So you position the camera where you want. I just want it here. This is a good default view. And you just click add, and that is preset 1. And then if I want a second preset, let's just point it, say, at this monitor over here with the little dancing metal Benji. Excuse the microphone boom arm. I can't help anything with that. And zoom in. There's some junk on the shelves behind me. That can be positioned too. And now I can just click those preset buttons, and I can move between preset 1 and preset 2. And that's how I get, like, the dogs in the camera behind me and things like that, you know? You can control it all with the view and the gimbal and the zoom here. There are various different wide angles, medium angle, narrow angle, and you can see the sort of various stages. Then I can just hit preset 1. It comes straight back to me, which is fantastic. And I can reset all of that. You just click reset and it moves back to its default position. More on that in a minute. So going through some more of its features. You can turn high dynamic range on and off. Now I believe high dynamic range only works, 4K 1080p 720 with a maximum frame rate of 30 frames a second. So we can turn it on now. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. And I'll turn it back on. That's a much nicer picture already. In this low light environment, that is a better picture quality. Straight away. Now, obviously, you can do autofocus mode. To show you an example of how good the zoom is on this, I've got a small remote control that controls some of the lights on my desk here. And if I wanted to show my audience that, hold it up to the camera, look how quickly that switched to focus on that. And now if I take that away again, straight back to me. Straight back to me. I mean, how good is that? How good is that? Let's have a look at some of the other options. You've got auto exposure. So again, we can turn the auto exposure on and off. I haven't really played a lot with this. By default, it's set to, I think, 0. Let's have a look. If I go 0.0, so that's the default exposure there. I like to compensate, make it a little bit darker. Okay. Now you have got anti-flicker settings on here. You can see some of the colors of you can see it now, the color change. Okay, it's flickering slightly. We'll select 50 Hertz. Maybe a little less noticeable. If I select 60 Hertz, that banding and that flicker, not completely gone. Probably the best setting though. Turn the anti-flicker off. Lots of banding, turn the anti-flicker on. You got auto white balance, off and on. And you can adjust contrast, saturation, sharpness, hue. You know, you can adjust this to your liking. You can make it how you want it to look. You can improve or maybe completely ruin your image quality, but there are loads of options there. You could turn the contrast. You can see the difference that's making. Turn it all the way up. You see the difference that's made already. Set it back to 50. Same with saturation. You could wash the colors out. You could do a nice black and white effect. You could do. You could go all the way up and turn me into the craziest Oompa Loompa you've ever seen. Not that I recommend you do that. It makes you look like you've got a ridiculous tan. You could adjust the sharpness slightly. So you can sharpen everything up just a little bit, make everything just a little bit more crisp. Honestly, again, with what I've played with, straight out of the box, the default settings are fine and will be fine for most of you. You know, they will be absolutely fine. There's no need to mess around with it. It works. You know, I've plugged it in, I've installed the software, I've got a great image quality. I'm quite happy to stream with this image quality on my camera. More than happy. I mean, obviously it's not full screen. I'm just showing you the preview window, but it's a good picture quality, right? It's a really nice picture quality. Obviously this is 4K, 30 frames a second, and it looks amazing. Looks really good. Now there are other features, right? There are beauty features. So you can blur the background. I don't know if you can see it too well in this preview window. There are other what they call makeup. There's touch-up tones, and you can change the shape of your face. You can change your body shape. You know, all sorts of AI stuff that I haven't really dabbled with, but I'm sure. For those who want to make a difference, and this isn't a debate on whether AI enhancement is healthy or not, blah blah blah, it's available to you should you want it, you know, and it all works very, very well. I have played around with it a fair bit, but yeah, there's all sorts of settings there. Generally though, I go with all the settings off. I also think that it struggles. Yeah, so we've got to have the virtual camera available, okay, for all of that to take effect. So all of these beauty effects and the retouching, the filters, all that kind of thing, you're only going to see that through the virtual camera, okay? So rather than having this feed, the preview feed as it were, into your OBS, you would start the virtual camera by clicking the button up the top here. You would then put that virtual camera as your camera source within OBS. Okay? And that's then going to give you access to all these makeup effects, the filter effects, the basically what they call the retouch, the the face, the body slimming, all that kind of. Okay, so again, whether you're an advocate for AI or not, those features are very, very clever. They do what they're gonna say they do, or they do what they say they're gonna do. There's a mouthful. But yeah, really, really good. Really, really. So, just to give you, if you like, a final word on, which camera I think I'll be using moving forward, give you an idea of image quality, things like that. The footage that you're seeing now, this is from my original Tiny 2, okay? If I just click this little button, this is the image from the Tiny 2 Lite. Which one do you think I'm going to be using moving forward? Or which one do you think I'm going to be doing the majority of my streaming with moving forward? That image is incredible. And again, we'll go back to the Tiny 2. Nothing wrong with this image. I mean, this is a very good image. This is a spectacular image in this low light environment. That is spectacular. And I don't know why they're calling it a Tiny 2 Lite. What's light about it? It does everything that my Tiny 2 does, but the image quality is better. Look at that. Hang on, let's do it again. Tiny 2, Tiny 2 Lite. Can I get them side by side? Get picture in picture? Which one do you think? You tell me. That's crazy. That's crazy. Tiny 2. Tiny 2 Lite. What a picture quality. What an improvement. That is a spectacular piece of kit. Like, absolutely spectacular. That's just so good. So good. Well done, OBSBOT. What a product. What a product. Again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this unboxing and this this review. Again, it's the first time I've had the opportunity to do something like this. I hope this is adequate, and hopefully moving forward I can improve product reviews and I can do bigger and better the more I learn. But for now, everybody, if you're thinking about a camera upgrade, go and get one. Go and get one. OBSBOT Tiny 2 Lite. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Anyway, thanks all for hanging around, watching the vid. Again, let me know your thoughts. If you got any questions, throw them at me in the Discord, throw them at me on YouTube. I'll try and answer as many questions as I can. But hopefully, I'll see you in stream soon, and I'll be using my new camera. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye-bye.